Hi, I'm Nyesha McCauley, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
Welcome, and to another segment here. Actually, before I introduce my guests, I want to tell you about things that are happening out in Manchester. Okay, yes, I'm talking about MCC on Main. Coming up this weekend, June 28th, Chad Brown Springer, 7 o'clock, and there is a cover charge, and you have to bring your own beverage. And it's Smooth Sounds of Connecticut Artists. Please come down and enjoy yourself. That's over at 902 Main Street in Manchester, Connecticut. Also, I want to talk about on the 27th, they have a paint party with art lab, and you can find out more about that on the website. Just type it, go to Google, MCC on Main, and MCC on Main, and you can do like their flyers, and the flyer will come up, and you can see all the events that they have for this month. And if you're not website savvy, give them a call at 860-647-6030. All right, I got one more before I introduce my guest. And also in Manchester, Connecticut, they got Summer 2014, 4 to 6 p.m., 153 Spruce Street. So if you're ever in the area of Manchester, Connecticut, go to 153 Spruce Street, and they have exhibits, live music, okay, provided by Summit Studios. What's coming up is July 13th, animators and illustrators. So check that out. Also, August 10th, painters and paint makers. And check that out. September 28th was the last one, Manchester Art Association. So that's what I would like to tell you about. And Sunday's Pop Art Cafe. Wow. So don't forget to come down to 153 Spruce Street in Manchester. All right, onward with my guests. And have you ever thought about life insurance? Do you want to know more about it? Well, my guest is here to tell you more about it, and I want to welcome you, Mr. Billie of BB Financial Solutions. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Pamela. It's nice to be here.
Yes, yes. And while you're here, we're going to talk about life insurance. And why do people need life insurance? Can you talk about that?
Well, basically, if you don't have the cash to cover anything you like to protect, and particularly we're talking about a person's life, their income, funeral expenses, you would want to have a life insurance policy to do that.
Okay. And just in case anybody out there is interested in life insurance and wants to know what's the difference between the whole life insurance and the term life insurance, can you tell our viewers about that?
So that's a real good question. The oldest form of life insurance that's been around is whole life. Whole life is a policy whereby it builds up a cash value and the premium stays the same. There's guaranteed to pay the death benefit to the certain age. So there's no moving parts. It is what it is, and it'll last usually, like I said, to age 90. Today they have policies that'll go up to age 121. Term is just in the name. You buy it for a specific time frame. It could be a 10-year term, 20-year term, 30-year term. And when that time is up, the life insurance expires. I call it like renting. When you rent, you get receipts. And that's what the term does. With the whole life is like owning your own home. You're building up some equity. So term is very cheaper. It's cheaper than the whole life policy. And so it's really good for purposes like if a person was in business and they borrowed some money and they've got 10 years to pay it back. Well, a 10-year term would be good to cover that in case they can't make the payments back, they pass away. A lot of times the lender will take the assignment of that policy, so just in case they've got that as like a collateral. Person has a mortgage and they have a 30-year mortgage. To make sure the mortgage is taken care of, they could have a term policy. Some people will buy a term policy. They're interested in making sure the children have money to go to college. Well, they'll work and save as much as they can, but if they were to pass away, they have this insurance that's in place, this term policy, that will cover the children's education in case something happens to them death-wise.
Okay, what about if you're disabled?
Well,
Is that
disabled.
covered anything?
Well, that's in a way it is. Today, there's the old insurance and the new. And I know that most people have the old insurance. The new insurance has living benefits. Now, when we say disabled,
What if you become disabled?
well, what happens is that disability insurance is good to have if you become disabled, accident on or off from work or whatever, recreation. But some the new policies now that we call it living benefits,
Okay.
that if a person cannot work, they're disabled because they've suffered a stroke, a heart attack, or a chronic illness, and they can access monies from their policies. That's why it's called living benefits. And so there are companies moving in that direction, whether it be a term policy, a whole life policy, or I didn't even talk about universal life, but also universal life, which is a blend or in between the middle of term and whole life policies. So disability in itself, one would be wise to have disability insurance at work or on their own. But if they do not have it, but they have an insurance policy with living benefits, if they can't work, as I mentioned before, because of a heart attack, a stroke, or chronic illness, they can access what called from the policies, they can access money to tie them over the income they would have lost from working, money to pay bills, money to pay credit cards, money to pay the hospital bills and food, etc.
Yeah, and that's a good thing too.
Yes.
If something happens to you. And what are the traditional verses of new living benefits?
That's just what I was talking
Okay,
about
I'm
now.
sorry.
Most
Can you-
people have the policy that when you pass away, it'll go to the beneficiaries. Some policies that if a person has terminal illness, the doctor certified that and they said they've got 12 months or 24 months to live, money can be accessed from the policy. But the living benefits is a whole new ball game because basically, Pamela, what happens is that most people, 7 out of 10 people before age 65 will have suffered one of those conditions, a heart attack, a stroke, or chronic illness, and they recover. And so because they've lost time in work and they'll be living on, they would have needed funds to help them tie them through that situation.
Oh my goodness, okay. What's the guaranteed issue of the life insurance?
Yeah, a lot of people in the past, didn't matter how much money people would have, if they put it all on the table, bundle loads of money, they couldn't buy life insurance if they had real bad health, terminal illness, AIDS, very terminal problems, diseases. But what's happened is that a lot of insurance companies have come in on the scene and they'll provide what is called guaranteed issue, meaning that a person can get a policy regardless of their condition, and they would have a 2-year, 3-year period whereby they would have to be still living in order for the death benefit to be paid.
Oh.
So, I'll give you an example. A person can have a policy, say the policy is for $10,000 for burial expenses, and whatever they pay monthly, they would get that back if they passed away before the 2 or 3 year period time frame is up.
Mm-hmm.
They'd get that back, plus the beneficiaries would get that back plus interest.
Oh,
if
wow,
they make it
okay.
past the second or the third year, depends upon the policy, the entire death benefit will go to the beneficiary. So the insurance companies know they're buying a risk, and they're willing to take that chance. So they say, okay, you make it past the second or the third year, and we'll pay the full benefit. That's why they call it a guaranteed issue. Premium stays the same, the death benefit stays the same. The only thing is that if you die before the time period, the beneficiaries get the money back that was paid every month plus
Okay.
interest.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
why it's called guaranteed issue. And so that helps out a lot of people, because most people do not have insurance or do not have enough. And usually when they wait, it's basically after they've probably left work because they had insurance at work and they
Yes.
never thought about getting it on their own. And then they need it, but they've got health problems.
Yes.
And so today insurance companies can do that. When we talk about traditional, it means just regular standard. The better health you are, the younger you are, the cheaper it's going to cost you, and you can get it. And we just tell people buy it and keep it as long as you can, particularly the whole life. That'll last you a long time. But if you buy term, realizing that after 20 years or 30 years, you no longer have the insurance, and if you didn't have something that was permanent, then you got to go back into the market to buy coverage. And generally speaking, you're going to be 10, 20, 30 years older.
Yes.
And that's going to count against you as far as the premium. Also, if you have any health problems, that's going to also add to the premium as well.
Okay. Can you always upgrade your insurance to be on the whole life insurance, the term, and the universal life?
That's a
Can you do
good
that?
question. No, because it's a contract. A lot of people
wow.
don't realize that an insurance policy is a contract, and whatever is stated in the policy, that's what the insurance company has to agree to and stay up, and basically keep their word to. If you want additional insurance, you get another contract. And there's nothing wrong with having 3, 4, 5 different contracts. And we can talk about that a little later, because
Yes,
there's
yes.
a way people can do something as far as build up cash value for their policies.
Well, okay. Also, we will go into the opportunities. You are based out in Bloomfield, Connecticut?
That is correct, yes.
Yes.
And I'm always looking for people who like to part-time or full-time. Doesn't matter if they're teachers, doesn't matter if they're mechanics. We know that the economy's been real tough.
Oh, very tough.
And so jobs have been scarce. A lot of people have given up. But basically, there's always the need for insurance products like life insurance, and we're always looking for people who like to do this part-time or full-time. There's wonderful training, wonderful products out there, and there is a big, big need for that, big demand for people.
Oh, okay. Now, I don't know if we had discussed this earlier. Will the monthly premiums increase as a person gets older? As a person gets older in the life insurance?
That's a real good question too. The programs that I work with, basically, whatever the premium is in that contract, that's what it will stay for the life of that contract. Now, there are products that are sold on the television and through the mail, and so you have to read the print, because every 5 years the rate can increase because you're in a different age bracket. So you have to be aware of that. A lot of people are not aware of that, and they're not familiar with insurance, and they do not have an agent, and so they may purchase a product that has a rate band. And so they're at, say, the rate band is 30 to 35. They buy it at 34. Now there's a different rate band of 36 to, say, 40. And when they become 37, they got to pay more. And that's spelled out. But if you're not aware of looking at the contract, you wouldn't know that. And you could be surprised as time goes by, and then you see the premium rising.
Okay. Wow, that's good. And that does rise also in, does it adjust during inflation? Is that what you're...
No, it's just that's the way the contract is.
Doesn't adjust during inflation time?
No, it's
Wow.
that's just the contract. They tell you, but you've got to read it and understand it.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes these policies are very hard to understand.
Yeah,
when you're
it could
doing
be.
that.
Yeah. But you want someone to explain it to you, someone
right
being
way.
truthful to you, right?
Yes.
And like basically, like I said, the policies that I deal with, it's the same premium, whatever it may
Okay.
be. It's for whatever the life of the contract is. It's
Okay.
going to be, the premiums are going to be the same. So that way, people won't have any confusion. They've got this budget. They know what they're paying out of their checking account each month.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing. Wow. And don't forget, everyone, with Billie, he was talking about opportunities, part-time and full-time. And we were earlier talking about the basic types of insurance, which you can actually contact him and find out more. But we're going to have a second half, and we will talk more about the life insurance. And before I am with this one, how long have you actually been in business, doing your business? Because I know it's been a while.
Yes, in my first life, I was a banker from 1974 to 1987. Then I got my stockbroker's license and insurance license.
Okay.
And I've been in the insurance industry, financial area since 1987. So you can do the math.
Yes.
And I really enjoy it, helping a lot of people with their life insurance needs. It's always great to be able to do that. And you're satisfying when you do take a check, because the life always happens, people pass away.
Yes.
And when you're able to provide the family or the loved one with a check, it's a great benefit. You know you did the right thing in helping them out. Mm-hmm. I just wish people had more of it, more life insurance.
Yes, definitely. We do need more life insurance around here. Well, we'll be right back, okay, with my guest, Billie.
Hi, I'm Janice Fleming, and you're watching AccessTV.org.
At Hartford Public Schools, we care about one thing above all, the future of our kids. That's why we're dedicated to providing all students with the knowledge and skills needed in the new global culture. Hartford Public Schools is thriving. More student success stories, more world-class facilities, more university and corporate partnerships, more amazing talent coming and staying in Hartford. This is how education is supposed to work. Welcome to Hartford Public Schools, where the future is present.
Welcome back, and I am here with my guest, Billie, life insurance advisor. And we were talking about life insurance, the purpose, basic types of life insurance, and the universal life and the term life, and the opportunities. Well, there was another side of life insurance, and Billie is here again, and I'd like to welcome you also. We're going to talk about the marketing association and other things that you have tied in to the life insurance. So can you tell people about the tuition, rewards, and the points that you have available in your company?
Okay, be very happy to. The name of my business is called BB Financial Solutions, and the solutions to people's problems, particularly financial problems. While I'm affiliated with a program, Pamela, that provides tuition rewards points. Each point is worth $1. So if an individual sat down with me or family sat down with me, right off the bat, they would have 500 points. These points would be used for any private college or university in the country that their child or grandchild or nephew and niece, by the time they're a junior in high school, would have to select one of those schools, and that's where these points could be used for tuition. Now, if a policy is purchased, and it doesn't matter if $10 a month is purchased or $800 a month is purchased, they'll get 2,000 points each year as long as they have that plan. And at the same time, just for me to sit down and review their situation with them, they can pick up 500 more points. At the same time, if they refer people, they can pick up 500 points. So easily, a 5-year-old, by the time they're in the junior and high school, can have over 30,000 points.
That's interesting.
Each point is worth $1. That's 30,000 free dollars that can be used towards a private university or college.
Okay.
Now, at the same time, I can show the parent or the grandparent how if they wanted to have a policy for themselves, because they could have purchased a $10 a month policy for their nephew, niece, or grandchild, they could purchase a policy for themselves. One, they can get what is called a return of premium policy that could be on a term or universal life. What that means, whatever they pay into, at the point in time, they can get the money back.
Now, is there an exam?
Dollar for dollar. That's a contract.
Okay. Is there an exam for this or something they have to
Well,
take?
it all depends. Well,
oh, really?
But at the same time, they can have a whole life policy, which we talked about earlier, and build up cash value. Well, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because they can take the money, the return of the premium, the cash value, and apply it with the money that was in the tuition reward program. So they could use that as far as the person's 4-year tuition, cost. So they can have just being in the program with a small policy for the child, grandchild, or nephew or niece. They can also be putting away money in a policy for themselves and use the return of premium dollars or the cash value policy to add to the tuition reward program. So that's a great, great program. And basically, if someone contacts me, I can give them the email address, the website that they can go to and look the information up. This is the largest free scholarship program in the United States.
Okay. Oh, okay. But I want to back up and
Yes.
I'd like you to answer the question of what I asked. I am wondering, when you were talking earlier about the grandparents trying to purchase their land,
Yes.
their own, or a parent purchasing their own life insurance. Is there an exam? And you're saying, it depends, and what
Yes.
does that depend on?
Again, it depends upon if there's any previous medical problems. We have to look at, basically they'll fill out questions and answer the questions as to the medical history.
Okay.
And so all that can determine whether the policy is rated or not rated. But
Wow.
yes.
Okay.
And then
This is something
the dollar
yeah.
amount will determine what type of exam that has to be done. It could be
Okay.
from the simplest to the most complex to make sure the risk is a good risk, that the company or the company is satisfied with the risk and they're willing to issue a policy.
Okay. So everybody check it out. And we talked about be your own banker.
Oh, that's a great concept. I learned this about 10 years ago. Basically, with whole life from a mutual fund insurance company, it pays dividends. And on dividends, you don't pay any taxes. And what happens in the value, the cash value builds up. So you think of the concept. Now, a lot of us watch TV and they'll see different insurance companies
Yes.
advertise, and they'll talk about the
Definitely.
cash value. But we're not thinking in terms of a large amount of money. I've seen where a person took out over $240,000 from their life insurance policy, the cash value, to buy a house. So
Wow.
one can do that. Now, in my area, the young people like nice cars. And,
Yes.
and basically most of the car dealer says, come on down, you can get a loan.
Wow.
They'll finance you, bad credit or no credit. So they're really making more money on the financing than the actual cars. But one can be smart, real smart, build up the cash value in their policy that every 7 years they can take the money out, go buy them a new car.
Okay.
And if they did this 4 times in their lifetime and say the average car is $25,000, at the end of that time period, they'd have $100,000 in their life insurance policy versus having 4 cars and gotten rid of them, and you had to pay the interest as well as the principal to
Yes.
someone else.
Definitely. Oh,
So
my
that's a
goodness.
real nice concept that I can show. I want to show young people how to do that.
Yes,
'Cause
definitely. It'd be
love
good for
these
young people.
They love these expensive and beautiful cars, but they can do it and keep the money themselves.
Oh, that's a good thing. And debt elimination. Also?
That's part of being with the IMO marketing organization through the life insurance that I've associated myself with. A lot of people have a lot of debt. And this is just a program to show them how they can reposition their bills in a way where we position their dollars to pay their bills, and they can cut maybe the time in half of what they normally would be paying for the credit cards and the loans, et cetera. And it's just a part of a service that we would provide no cost.
And that comes out of the life insurance too?
No, basically what they would do is
sorry,
just get involved in the debt elimination, and
Okay.
we would work with them and show them how they can
Okay, eliminate their debt. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
something interesting. And workers' compensation insurance.
Yes,
Yeah,
this
can
is
you
one
talk a
of
little bit
one
about
of two programs. Yes, this is one of two programs, Pamela, whereby when I talked about the opportunities, part-time and full-time, we know that businesses that are in business, they're mandatory to have workers' compensation insurance. And this company that I'm associated with through the IMO, they provide workman's comp and payroll services. And our goal is to show the business owner that we can cut their costs anywhere from 5 to 25% of what they spend on workers'
Okay.
comp. And we'll do the payroll as well and keep them in compliance. And so this is a great opportunity. It's along with the life insurance. You can be able to do that. Another area that we've come across that is very nice is financing for businesses.
Okay. That's a good
Now,
one.
it is known that 95% of the businesses that apply for loans are turned down, whether it's through the bank or the SBA,
Now, why is
Small
that?
Business Administration. Well, basically because they have not been able to set themselves up as in a business sense whereby the banker is looking for certain things, and they haven't been able to provide what the bank is looking for. And we can help them out so that they look real good in front of a banker. Most businesses do not have, I forgot what it's called, I think it's a DUN number. They're usually using their personal credit rather than a business credit.
Wow.
And we help them get a business credit so that their assets are separated from, their personal assets are separated from the business, and the business goes out and borrows money. And generally speaking, the business can always borrow a lot more than what we could personally. And so basically we show them how they can get this done. And we know that, like I said, most businesses, and after 2 years, 50% fail. After
Yes.
5 years, 90% of them fail. And the
Yes.
biggest reason why they fail because they don't have access to financing companies. Well, this program that I'm associated with, they have over 2,100 sources in their house,
Wow.
under their roof, over 35 different programs. So it doesn't matter if it's a startup or an established business, we can help them. Matter of fact, the website, if you have contact me,
Yeah.
we can give you the website, and they say we'll guarantee that you will have $50,000 worth of business credit. But there's steps you got to take to
Yes.
get yourself in that position. Just like if you have to improve your own personal
Yeah.
credit score, you want to
Right,
improve
right,
it,
right.
there's certain things you have to do. But for the business credit score, you've got to do certain things to set yourself up in order to get that guarantee of $50,000 in business credit.
How long would that take a person to do, or does that vary on what
It varies on the person.
Yeah.
Because if they drag their feet, it's going to take longer. If they jump into it, it could be a matter of months only.
Wow, that's interesting to know.
Yes.
Yes. It's amazing how you talked about the business loans and whatnot. Very good and debt elimination, what everybody should actually think about doing. And Billie, he's an advisor, and he's from BB Financial Solutions. Now, is there anything else that you're going to be coming up with later on in your business that you haven't spoken about yet?
It remains to be seen for myself, but I think right here we've got a lot that we're working with and a lot we can help people with. So we care about people, and we know that these things will help individuals as well as families, their families and their businesses. So my contact information is my website as well as my email address.
Okay, so it's Billie, right? Did I get that right? At SBCG, Billie at sbcglobal.net.
Yes, Billie
Yeah,
at sbcglobal.net. Yes.
Is your other one available too?
My website.
Yeah, the website. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Check out his website And
The website is www.bbfinancialsolutions.net.
okay. And you got as your slogan, a man who does not believe in life insurance deserves to die once without it. Interesting. Yeah. And actually, you give a free policy review,
Policy review, yes.
free beneficiary review.
Yes.
So you can go in and talk to him in his office. And again, I want to talk about your tuitions. Let's go back on your tuition rewards just for a moment, okay?
Yes.
What are the other things that a person going to college can benefit out of your tuition rewards points?
Well, basically, by the time they're a junior, they've got to select one of the private colleges or university that exists in the program. Presently, there's over 325 different colleges, private colleges, and universities. So by the junior year, they would have selected which university or college they'd like to go to. The reward points would be used towards their tuition costs, spread out over a 4-year period. So say if a person had 40,000 points, that's $40,000. 10,000 for each year would be spread out for the cost. So if the cost is 30,000 a year, they reduced it, 10,000 each year. So, and then if the family saw this and they didn't have life insurance or didn't have enough life insurance, they could add more or buy more, and they can use either the return of premium concept or the cash value concept and take those dollars and add it to the tuition reward dollars for that person. So that takes a big burden off the families and also the student themselves, because we know the average student now owes about $29,000 in student debt.
Yes.
And there are many, many more who owe a lot more than that. So whatever that can be helped, and that's why I said this tuition rewards program, if you're gonna buy life insurance from Mr. Jones,
Yes, right. I think you
and
should.
just get
That's
life
it.
insurance. If you buy life insurance for BB Financial Solutions and you get tuition reward points that it turns into dollars, that's a
That's right.
no-brainer.
That's right. And you can get the tuition rewards points at any age. Like if you're 40 now, would that
No,
work
that's-
or no? Or is that only for college?
It's going to go for a student who's going to go to college.
Oh, just that. I'm sorry. Yeah.
You can be a sponsor. Let's say you got a nephew or a niece who's 1 year old or 7 years old, 10 years old. The earlier we start, the more points we can accumulate over time. So you can be the sponsor. You can have the policy yourself. You don't have to get the policy on your niece or the nephew. You have the policy. Again, you get the points, and then you just give it to that nephew or niece who you like.
Wow.
So we can do this with families, the family of 4. Everybody can have points and, tuition rewards. So we can do a lot of things with a family. It doesn't have to just be one person out of the family, but how the family wants to plan and design this for them, we can do it and help them out. And basically, a lot of people say, well, how does this really work? Well, the private university and colleges, they're competing for students. The baby boom stopped.
Yes.
And so there's been a lull as far as the number of children available to go to college. So everybody's competing for them. Well, the private colleges and universities recognize that in the past, it's been alumni that always came back to the school and made great contributions. So will a person have a great experience in a private college and university, they'll give back. So the lost leader is to give them these tuition reward points up front, knowing that once the person graduates, they'll come back and they'll be a significant part of the school by making contributions and donations, etc.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you very much for your information, and I hope everybody out there has
my pleasure.
learned a lot. If they want more information, if you're in the Connecticut area, can they call you too also, or just use your website?
Yes, they can call as well.
Okay, his number is 860-242-1154.
No, that's my fax.
Okay, I'm sorry, wrong one. Let's do your cell real quick, 860-202-7658. And I do want to thank you for coming on my show, and hopefully you'll be back again and
Be a delight.
talk about the other things. And enjoy your weekend, everyone, and thank you very much. See you next time.